Okay, so just got back from a run a little while ago. Got the maniac down for a nap, and I'm making my sandwich. I'm starting to think, okay, what are the little things that I want to start trying to review so that dads like me or moms, anybody who's home with a kid who's trying to be active in their lifestyle, can benefit from. And this is probably gonna be one of the very first ones that I upload. I've done a couple little things so far, but this is probably the first one I'll actually upload. And the whole point of this is all going to be like little tips and tricks that I've learned as a dad. First kid, I love it. I'm a kind of like a stay-at-home dad. I'm a part-time stay-at-home dad. My wife and I alter our work schedules with our employers, so one of us is always home with our kid, and it's super awesome. And I love being involved. So I kind of noticed that there's a trend starting to happen, which is awesome. We're starting to notice more things being geared towards dads to make them feel more involved, make them feel interested. And for me, one thing that I felt like I've always had a hard time finding in general has been just good reviews on anything. Like, it might be decent for the most part, but there's lots of things I've noticed that I feel like sometimes people don't mention in certain things. So in comparisons, like I think a lot of times people want to know about a comparison. So first thing, I'm making a sandwich and I'm trying to think what I'm going to do, and I see this chair. And this chair we've had for 9 months is one of the gifts we've got, and I finally just used it today. And I'll tell you why. So everybody knows the Boombo. They're simple, they're good, they're all soft. Oops, this is gonna be kind of shady because of the way my camera is. I'm gonna just do this with my phone. They're all soft, they can't really hurt themselves on this. The downside is, you can put them just in the chair. The downside is this flips over, and then you have to try and force that under. It's not terrible to do, but it is sometimes a pain, especially when your little ones try to put their fingers here and around. Our baby is little. She's 9 months and she's tiny, but she's 9 months and this is almost strapped as tight down as you could go, and it's still loose on her. She is able to put her feet, plant a foot, and push across the table. I think if these had more of a grip around the bottom, they'd be better. But they're great for, your 3-month-old, your 4-month-old, once they can actually hold their head up on their own and sit up. Once they can get set up pretty well on their own, these are really good for them, just to, put them close to you, like if you're doing dishes and they're on the counter close to you or whatever, obviously not close to the edge. But this is no longer useful for us, mainly because of the fact that she can fall out of it and she can scoot across the table. So I had transitioned to just a normal high chair made by Fisher-Price. I do like this style where it's almost like a racing harness, almost like a 5-point. It just slides. They just slide through and click, and then the top just goes across it. So you need both hands when you're using that top. It's not one of those ones you can just use one hand, but it is nice. But this is what I started using. I'm really liking this. So the Ingenuity, this is 2-in-1, and ours has been set up for quite a while. It says 6 months to 4 years. Here's why I'm in love with it. It is not much different. I can't do a good size comparison. It is not much different in size, right? And it's got a little 3-point deal, and I was able to put, sorry with the camera, I'm not watching what I'm doing with the camera, I'm watching what I'm doing outside of it. I was able to put Ev in there, and I need to tighten them a little. It was the first time I put her in, so I know I need to tighten them, but I have room, and I know that I have the availability to put her in there. So then, the next thing I like about it is here's your tray. and it just slides right in. I will say that it goes in easier than it comes out. To come out, there's just these little tabs that you squeeze to get it to pull out. It seems like the one side sticks just a little bit, but not bad. Not enough to really complain about, but it's just something I noticed. Then there's a little bracket, like a little tie down thing that you can put on through the back of your chair. And it was cracking me up because I didn't know it was even hooked up. I thought it was just sitting there. So I went to pull it off and I was just going to set it on the table. And as I'm doing that, here's how you take it off. One finger. See, that's the side that always sticks. So you just gotta put a little bit more oomph into it. As I'm trying to set it up over here, I noticed it was tied. I'm like, oh, okay. And Ev was rocking, rolling and kicking, having a good time over eating. And it stayed really well in place. It also does have little rubber feet. So I'm assuming that it would sit better on the table. And just because we are doing an actual review, let's not just make assumptions. Let's... My wife put that on there pretty good. Good job. Oops. Alright, so on the table. Doesn't really move much. So you get an idea. And also you get an idea of the size. They're not a whole lot different size. And why I'm keep talking about the size is one of the things I've noticed when you're traveling with a babe, that's what we would call our kid, a little babe, is it sucks having when you've got, we've got not cars that are great for loading everything up. So having something that's small, that's, you can get a good use out of, it's very soft. So you can see the indention I'm putting in, and that kind of foam does go all the way around, even there. Like I said, my wife put it together when I was away at work one time, but it just appears that this top part that the tray folds into just snaps on, and I'm assuming that it just easily pulls off. But she sits in there well right now, and then I know as she gets older we can take that top off, and now we've got a nice little booster seat. It's light. I'd say it's, oh shoot, I'm gonna guess it's 7 pounds maybe. And it says that it is it doesn't say what it weighs, but you could look that up. It's not that heavy. It's not any really heavier than that one. So if you guys are looking for a decent chair to do feedings at, the one downside I have found about it is I wish you could make, here's a perfect example too of the feet, because I'm pushing the thing in and the thing doesn't slide. That much pressure still didn't make the thing slide on the table. It's a slick table. I wish there was multiple settings that you could go further in, because that's almost 8 inches. I know that's like almost 7, so that's close, around 7 or 8 inches. I wish there was, that's the only downside. I wish there was more of a setting going in, but it definitely seems like it's easy to clean, and super light, super easy, super small, and yeah. So any questions about it, you want to know how I feel about it as it goes on, let me know. That's, like I said, probably the first upload I'll do. I've got a bunch of things I'm thinking about doing, and it's not just going to be dad things. Like, it's going to be, there's going to be some supplement stuff. There's going to be, like, I got some running shoes that I want to talk about. And then, if there's any companies out there that are seeing this and you want anybody to demo a product, give any feedback, like any jogging strollers or just anything really, let me know. Pretty active dad. I got a bag that I usually, I've got my own bag that I take out when I go places with my daughter. So, and then, even likewise, I'm a hunter and I go out and I have a dog and I don't hunt with my dog, but, I'm just letting everybody know, but the things that I do. So there's going to be a lot of things that aren't just dad-parent related. I'm going to try and do a lot, mostly geared towards guys, but it will be a universal thing. But if there's anything that you guys want me to try and find out anything on, just hit me up and I will be more than happy to try. This was the first video that I'm really doing one on, and I will say that the next ones will be better. I'll be using a stand-up tripod and a 4K camera probably. Upload them, and I was literally just making my sandwich as I got done putting her down, so I didn't have time to really get at it. So have a good one.